Hey everybody, Jam Creates here. Just wanted to do another quick video and say thanks for everybody who subscribed to the channel. I got a couple new subscribers. Some people commented on stuff. I love that. Thank you. So thank you very much. For anyone who watches these videos, thank you. And if you subscribe to the channel, awesome. Thank you very much. And if you're not, please subscribe. All right. Anyway, so I wanted to talk about, there was an announcement made that Rob Liefeld is creating a new X character for the X-Men line of books. And, you know, many of you know Liefeld helped create Cable and helped create Deadpool and was certainly one of the most famous X-Men artists, right alongside guys like Jim Lee for their stuff. I mean, he worked on X-Force, whereas Jim Lee was doing Uncanny X-Men. And he's got this new character, Major X, and there's been reaction. I've seen reaction both ways about the character, and I don't even so much really necessarily want to talk about the character. I don't think the character's costume design is really, like, amazing or anything. Part of me just kind of wishes that he would have just loaded him up with pouches and giant shoulder pads and stuff, just to be like, screw you, everybody. I'm Rob Liefeld, and this is what I do. But he didn't, so, you know, I don't know. I guess that's to his credit. But I see a lot of people talking all this smack about Liefeld's art, and it really makes me laugh. I honestly, it's something that I've thought about for a long time, and I've never quite understood it. And I've seen it in all different things, not just in art. I've seen it in other things as well, where someone who is an unknown will talk super crazy amounts of trash about someone who is incredibly famous or really, you know, proficient in their area, in their work, in their area of expertise, whatever it might be. And they think that by doing that, it is somehow going to bring them up. But it never does. If you ever notice that, like, the people who haven't done anything, you know, or haven't really done anything major to speak of, who like to talk a lot of trash about guys like Liefeld, and they like to talk trash about the 90's. This is just in the comic book sphere. You know, there's a lot of people out there who talk a lot of junk about the 90's, and they hate the 90's. They talk about how the 90's were terrible and blah, 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 blah. Meanwhile, the 90's, you know, yes, until the crash, were the most profitable era of comic books ever. And they continue to be. The numbers just came out, and the 90's after the crash are actually more successful than the comic book industry is now. That's really sad. We all lamented the crash of comic books, like, oh my God, this is awful. This is going to be like the end of comic books. And of course it wasn't. But now we've got numbers that are even worse than after the crash, and people are trying to tell you, oh no, it's still okay. It's still okay. No, it really isn't. Dude, I'm telling you, you're charging too much for your books. Nobody's reading them. You're not putting out stuff that people enjoy. You're not creating new characters that are inspiring people. You're not telling stories that are inspiring people. You're just not interesting anymore. You've committed the worst sin possible. You've become boring. And that honestly is the worst sin. You can complain about Rob Liefeld's art all you want. You can say, you know, all his guys skipped leg day, or, you know, you could say it's kind of funny how everybody seems to be standing in a bunch of fog so you can't see their feet all the time. People were making these jokes in the 90's. People who loved Rob Liefeld's art, like me. I love Liefeld's art, and I even made jokes about his feet in the 90's. It was funny. It was fine. But it was done out of love. It wasn't done out of this weird jealousy and hatred for a more successful time, which is the only thing I can think it is now. It's just people are jealous of a more successful time in history. But it's just dumb. I mean, if your art sucks, stop trying to talk trash about 90's art. 90's art was done to really wow you. It was, yeah, a lot of it was over the top, and some of it was just downright insane. But it was done that way on purpose. It was done to be exciting, to make you look at it and go, wow, what the heck am I looking at? This is incredible. Like, that was the whole point. Everything was bigger and louder, and that's what the 90s in comic books was all about. It was about making you just look at a panel and be like, wow, look at that. The women were more beautiful. The men were huge monsters. Like, the shoulder pads were gigantic. The guns just got bigger and bigger and more unrealistic. But it didn't matter. It was just to be entertaining. None of it's comic books. They're not supposed to look like me and you. It's not supposed to be super realistic unless that's the type of story you're telling. And if that is the type of story you're telling, you shouldn't be doing it in a superhero comic book. There are plenty of indie comics out there that have a much more grounded, realistic style and tell their story really well. And that there's nothing wrong with that. Like, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. You look at a lot of, like, Brubaker's stuff. His stuff is all more... I mean, even the ones that get into, like, weird, like, psychological and possibly supernatural areas, like, they still, like, everything is grounded in reality, which is what makes his stories interesting. But those are indie comics. He's not doing that with Batman or Superman or Spider-Man or the X-Men. He's doing it with, hey, this is, Tommy whoever who lives in Queens, and, this is his girlfriend, and now he's seeing a weird demon in art that his, father used to draw, and all that kind of stuff. Like, it's meant to be realistic so that the unrealistic aspects are more shocking. And so, yes, the people look like regular people. But when you're drawing a fun, action-packed, over-the-top comic book, superhero comic book, that's not what people want. So, like, if you're gonna draw a superhero comic, draw it over the top. If you're not, then that's different. So, I don't quite get this hostility towards... I just don't get the hostility towards Liefeld. I just think it's jealousy, honestly. I really do. I think it is a jealousy of a lot of people for that era, for the 90s, where people were so successful. Guys like Todd McFarlane and Jim Lee and Rob Liefeld and all these guys were able to just write their own ticket and start their own company and make millions. And people nowadays, they can't do it because the industry stinks now. So anyway, it's just a quick video. I just wanted to get it out there. Hopefully you didn't even notice my schedule was just still going strong. I had a stomach virus last week, felt like crap, and kept the videos rolling, and hopefully nobody really even noticed. So that's it. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. Let me know what you think. Do you like the 90s style? What do you think of this new Major X character? Do you think it looks cool? Do you think it looks lame? Do you think it was just Marvel grasping at straws at this point? Let me know what you think. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you don't like the video, just give it a thumbs up anyway. It's National Hugging Day. Anyway, like the channel, subscribe to the channel, follow me on Twitter. I'm at jam_creates. Comment on the videos. Let me know what you think about stuff. Let's get some good conversations going, and I will talk to you again soon. Peace out.